Thanks everyone. Myself Mohammed Pujashni. Through this presentation, I'm going to discuss about serial programming and timer programming in PIC microcontroller. These are the agenda that I plan to take through this presentation. To start with what's PIC microcontroller and architecture, looking into then serial programming protocols and example in the transmission of bits, and followed by timer programming and its module and the detailed block diagram explanation of timer zero module. To start with, what is a PIC microcontroller? What can it do? PIC expands programmable interface controller are electronic circuits that can be programmed to carry out a wide range of tasks. They can be programmed to timers or control production line and much more. They are used in different applications such as smartphones, audio accessories, and advanced medical devices. Looking into the architecture, every PIC microcontroller architecture consists of some registers and stack, where a register function as a random access memory and stack in their addresses. The main feature of the PIC microcontroller are RAM, flash memory, timers, counters, EEPROM, which is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, input-output ports, USART, CCP, which is a capture, compare, and PWM module, SSP, comparator, and some analog to digital converter. It has some features like it has 8-bit CPU, it operates up to 40 MHz crystal oscillator, it instruction set contains pipelining architecture, and it has a memory protection capability. Moving to the serial communication, serial port means one bit of data will be transmitted at a time between a transmitter and receiver. In serial communication, the interfacing complexity will become easier compared to parallel, but the software complexity will be increases. Looking into its types, there are like simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Other than the serial and parallel, there are also synchronous and asynchronous type of communication. We'll look in detail. In simplex, the communication will be in one direction, that is from a transmitter to receiver. In half duplex, it is a two-way communication, but simultaneously we can't perform transmission and reception. In full duplex, simultaneously we can perform transmission and reception. Synchronous communication. When using synchronous communication, the information is transmitted from a transmitter to receiver in a sequence bit after bit with fixed baud rate, and the clock frequency is transmitted along with the bits. This means the transmitter and the receiver are synchronized between them by the same clock frequency. The clock frequency can be transmitted along with the information, while it is encoded in the information itself, or in many cases, there is an additional wire for the clock. This type of communication is faster compared to asynchronous type of communication, since it is constantly transmitting the information with no stops. Asynchronous communication. When using the asynchronous communication, the transmitter and receiver refrain to the transmitted long sequences of bits, because there isn't a full synchronization between the transmitter that sends the data, receiver that receives the data. Looking into the type of protocol that is being used in serial communication, there are mainly three types of protocols, which is USART. The USART stands for Universal Synchronous and Asynchronous Receiver and Transmitter, which is a serial communication for two protocols. It is used for transmitting and receiving the data bit by bit over a single wire with respect to the clock pulses. The PIC microcontroller has two pins, which is transmitter and receiver pins. These pins are used for transmitting and receiving the data serially. SPI protocol. The term SPI stands for Serial Peripheral Interface. This protocol is used to send the data between the PIC microcontroller and the other peripherals such as SD cards, sensors, and shift registers, etc. PIC microcontroller supports 3-wire SPI communication between two devices on a common clock source. The data rate of SPI protocol is more than that of the USART protocol. Third comes I2C protocol. The I2C stands for Inter-Integrated Circuits, and it is a serial protocol like other, which is used to connect two low-speed devices such as EEPROMs, microcontrollers, AD converters, etc. serial communication. So to enable this serial communication, as we already discussed about the transmission types, which is full duplex, half duplex and simplex. We'll look into an example of transmitting an 8-bit data. Let us assume that we need to transmit the following information, that is 1011 0010. The information will be stored in a transmission register, which acts as a temporary buffer storage to the information prior to the transmission. The bit TX9 will be 0, which determines that the transmission will be 8-bit transmission. So there is no need to address the 9th bit, which stores the 9th bit of the information. The information before the transmission looks like the transmitting of 8 bit that are attached here. Now let us define the receiver side to receive the 8-bit transmission. So to do so, the register RX9 will be 0 here. The received information will be stored in RSR register, which act as a temporary storage buffer. So as you can see, the received information look like the bit transformation. The received bits are 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0. So moving on to the timer programming. Generally, many of the PIC18 timers are 16-bit wide. Each bit of timer is accessed as two separate registers, low byte and high byte. Each timer also has some special registers to move upon the mode of operation. The PIC18 family has 2 to 5 timers depending on the family members. They are referred to as a timer 0, timer 1, 2, 3 and 4. So generally, what a timer can do? It generates a time delay as a counter to count events happening outside the microcontroller. Every timer need a clock pulse to tick. So the clock source can be either internal or external. The internal clock, that is the 1/4 of the frequency of the crystal oscillator pins, is fed into the timer. Therefore, it is used for time delay generation. This is called the timer programming. And also the external clock fed pulses through one of the microcontroller pins, that is called a counter. So let us now look into the timer 0 module and its operations. So as we talked before, generally timers in microcontroller are used for introducing delay, counting events and generating waveforms, and also to perform a PWM generations. So delays in microcontroller can be induced in either of two ways. One, providing delay using a software through code using loops, but a delay provided in this way forces the microcontroller to put all its resources for the processing of the loop and thus blocks the code execution. And the other is providing delay using the timer in the microcontroller. In this approach, the delay is provided by loading a count in the timer. So when the timer interrupt is generated, the current execution will be moved to serve the task, but when there is no timer, the interrupt will perform another task. Therefore, we can say it is a kind of non-blocking function. Here, timer 0 module has a feature of it is a readable and writable register. It has software selectable operation as a timer and or counter in both 8-bit or 16-bit modes. It is edge select or external clock selection. It is a dedicated 8-bit software programming rescaler. It has. Looking into the TCON register, which is timer 0 module control register. Here, as we know, since it's 8-bit register, it has 0 to 8 bits. To start with, timer 0 on bit, which is the 7th bit. It is a timer on off bit. This bit is to set high to enable the timer 0. So generally, if it's 1, it enables the timer 0. If it's 0, it stop the timer. Then D6th bit, which is timer 0 8-bit. It is 8 or 16-bit mode selection. The bit select timer mode. If it's 1, the timer 0 is configured as an 8-bit either timer or counter. If it's 0, the timer 0 is configured as a 16-bit timer or counter. Next, the 5th bit, which is timer 0 clock source set. The timer mode is selected by clearing the timer 0 clock source bit of the control register. If it's 1, it is timer 0 clock. If it's 0, it will be 1/4 frequency of the oscillator. Then comes the 4th bit, which is timer 0 source edge select. The rising and falling transition of the increment edge for either input source is determined by timer source edge select bit of the control register. If it's 1, it increment the timer 0 on high to low transition. If it's 0, it increment the timer 0 module on a low to high transition. Moving on to the 3rd bit, which is pre-scalar assignment, that is timer 0 pre-scalar assignment. The pre-scalar is enabled by clearing the assignment bit of the control register. If it's 1, the pre-scalar is not assigned to the timer controller. If it's 0, the pre-scalar is assigned to the timer 0 module of the register. So, D2, D1 and D0 bits are the pre-scalar rate select bits. There are 8 pre-scalar options of the timer 0 module ranging from 1:2 to 1:256 since it's an 8-bit transmission. The pre-scale values are selectable via pin 2 of bits in the control register. In order to have a pre-scalar value for the timer 0 module, it must be disabled by setting the pre-scalar assignment bit of the control register. So, this is the block diagram of the timer 0 module in 8-bit register. Generally timer 0 can operate as either timer or counter. The timer mode is selected by clearing the timer 0 counter register clock source set as we discussed before. In timer mode, the module increments on every clock by the default unless a different pre-scalar value which is selected. If the timer 0 register is written to the increment as inhibited for the instruction cycle, the user can work around this by either writing with an adjusted value to the timer 0 register. And also, timer 0 module has an 8-bit pre-scalar. It is not directly readable or writable. It is a value set by the PSA, which is pre-scalar assignment bit, which determines the pre-scalar assignment and pre-scale ratio. Clearing this bit assigns the pre-scalar to the timer 0 module. When it is assigned, the pre-scales values from 1:2 to 1:256 since it's an 8-bit as we already discussed. In the power of 2 increments are selectable. The pre-scalar assignment is fully under software control and can be changed on the fly during the program execution. So, these are the references I made for my presentation. Thank you.